In this video, we're going to talk about how to open a business account for your Freezone company or your Mainland Company. Hi, my name is Sam from BUH Consulting, and if you set up your company through us, we are already assisting you with the bank account opening process. But if you open your license through another agent or if you did it yourself, then watch this video until the end for some important guidelines. There may be a situation where a company that you know, perhaps a friend, a family member, or another business associate, they set up the exact same business activity as you, and they were able to open up a bank account pretty quickly, so you decide to do so yourself and you're having some difficulties. And why is that? Let's say, for example, you've got the same business activities, the same types of users. That means you've got the same customers, you've got the same suppliers, they're all located within the same region. Let's say, for example, your customers are all from Europe and your suppliers are all from China. And everything is the same, but they were able to open the account, but you are not able to. Why is that? And that's because the banks, they have different policy. Banks in the UAE consider a number of factors before they open a bank account. Factors such as the nationality of the owner, the amount that you will put in the bank account, and the business model. For example, maybe the contact that you know, they open a bank account and they deposited a high amount into the bank while you are looking to deposit a smaller amount. The banks in the UAE, they have different levels of relationship managers, and these relationship managers, they all look for different types of customers. Some relationship managers, they look to bring on clients that have a high minimum balance, while others are looking for clients that can generate foreign transactions. And then you also have some relationship managers who do not need you to deposit any account balance. They don't need you to make foreign exchange, but they need you to purchase investment products because that is the department that they are responsible for. So imagine that you're looking to open a bank account by depositing a good minimum balance, but you go to the relationship manager that is responsible for opening bank accounts that has an investment element to it. That relationship manager will not be able to assist you because you are not their target market. Another reason for not being able to open a bank account in the UAE is a mismatch in business activity. A lot of companies, they may want to register a business that has the business activity of general trading, because this means that you can trade in anything. You don't need to have a specific business activity on your license and limit yourself to potential future opportunities that may come across your table. For you, general trading is a great business activity, but for the banks, it is a very high-risk activities because the banks know when you have this business activity, you are able to trade in any type of products. Even though you declare, I'm only going to trade in product A, the banks have a fear that maybe you're going to trade in products B, C, E, F, D. It is good to have a particular activity on your license for the exact same thing that you're trading. For example, if you're involved in vehicle trading, just have vehicle trading on your license and not general trading, which the banks see as a high risk. The same can be said for other popular business activities like management consultancy. Again, this is a very broad topic that the banks consider to be high risk because you can be consulting in a number of different areas, and the banks want to know exactly what you're doing so that they can monitor the flow coming in and out of the account so that they know that everything that you're doing is exactly what you mentioned in your business plan. So what that means is, instead of having a management consultancy activity on your license, go with something specific like software consultancy. If you are involved in consulting companies on how to develop software, or you're providing a software, you're developing it for the companies. Another point to consider is the nationality of the owner. Some banks, they have a list of nationalities that they will not open the bank account for. No matter how much money you put in the bank account, no matter what your business activity is, they just will not open the bank account. And this list of nationalities varies bank by bank, and it can also change from time to time within the same bank. So how are you going to know what bank accepts what type of clients? This is where we come in. We have active conversations daily with bankers from different banks, and we understand what the bankers are looking for. We will prepare your business plan in a way that the bank understands clearly. They're not going to have any doubt. If any changes needs to be made to either the business plan or your business license, we will advise you after speaking with the bankers. At the same time, we are also going to have your application sent to every single bank in the UAE, which means all the banks that you see on the screen now we have relationships with, and we are able to send it to the different levels of relationship managers. Another reason that you're not able to open the bank account is because some of the transactions that you're looking to make, whether it's sending or receiving, the banks are not comfortable with it. For example, let's say that you need to make transactions. You've got some customers or suppliers in a jurisdiction where the banks, they just don't allow any transactions to and from, then the banks, they're just going to not open your bank account. These are the main factors to consider when it comes to opening a bank account in the UAE. And if you're asking yourself, how am I supposed to know which bank is going to accept me as their customer? There are so many elements to it. This is where we are happy to come in and have a discussion, because we have daily conversations with relationship managers from the different banks. At any bank, we've got anywhere between 10 to 15 relationship managers, and these relationship managers, they are all ready to assist. Now, let's take a look at some of the most common questions that customers ask. Can you open a bank account remotely without visiting the UAE? It may be possible to open a bank account without visiting the UAE. Now, this usually works if the bank has another sister branch in another country, and you can go into that branch in order to verify your documents and sign any necessary documents that the bank needs you to sign. In some cases, the relationship manager from the UAE bank, they will also fly to meet you in person. However, it needs to be an exceptional case, and approval needs to be received from the bank ahead of time before the bankers, they're able to fly to come and meet you. Is it possible to open a bank account without an Emirates ID? It is possible to open a bank account without an Emirates ID. However, there is going to be a slight restriction in the account, and that is you're not going to have a checkbook assigned to you. Checkbooks can only be assigned if you have an Emirates ID. However, the account that you're able to open, which is called a non-resident account, also known as a call account. This type of account is also going to have online banking, which means you're able to see any transfers that were sent to you. As well, you can make transactions from this account to any parties that you need to send funds to. These are some of the most important factors to consider in the UAE, and it can take anywhere between 7 to 30 business days or longer, depending on your business profile. And again, that includes your nationality, your business model, countries that you need to send payments to and from, your counterparties, such as your customers and your suppliers. Every single process needs to go through the bank's due diligence, and that can take a bit of time. If you are a little bit short on time and you're not able to wait for the bank to approve your application in 30 days, or you don't have any contacts at the banks that can work with you on the applications, this is where we can come in and support you. Whether you set up a company through us or with another agency or by yourself, we are still able to assign relationship managers to assist you from every single bank on day one. We are going to apply at every single bank for you and see which bank is going to accept your application fastest. Once your bank have accepted your application, you need to sign some documents. Now, in most banks, they require you to sign the documents after your application has been approved. But if you're in a hurry, certain banks, they will also allow you to sign applications ahead of time. What happens if you're not able to visit the UAE at all, or you're not able to apply for the Emirates ID ahead of time, and you really need to have a bank account so that your company can function? If you know anybody in the UAE, you can assign them as the bank account signatory, and then the bank will take their signature along with their Emirates ID, and then the account will be opened on your behalf with their signature. The Emirates ID and the UAE residency visa are two extremely important documents to have when it comes time to opening your bank account. If you have these two documents, 10 out of 10 banks are willing to consider your application. Now keep in mind, considering does not mean approving your application, but at least the banks are willing to consider it, and you have a better chance to open a bank account. If you do not have these two documents, then instead of 10 banks considering your application, maybe only 4 banks will consider your application. And you also have to consider the factors mentioned previously, and that's going to determine the likelihood of whether you're able to open or not open your bank account. So what happens if you cannot open a bank account in the UAE? In some rare cases, that does happen because the customer, they're not able to meet the bank's requirements in terms of having the correct license, the correct business activity, obtaining the necessary third-party approval, or having the necessary minimum balance. In such cases, it's not the end, because you can consider opening up a bank account in another country with something called offshore banking. Offshore banking is a concept for companies to open a bank account in a foreign country where the bank is located without having to register a company there or without having a sister company or any kind of ties to the country. So that means you don't need to have any suppliers, any businesses, or any office in the country where the foreign bank is located in order to open the bank account. In this video, we talked about many different topics. If you want to learn more about offshore banking, please visit the video on your screen. Otherwise, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below or get in touch with us via one of the options that we have mentioned in the video description, and we will see you in the next video.